Hi, my name is Brad Carlisle, and this is Buddy. We're going to be doing his go home video today, showing you everything you need to do to make sure he's successful in his new home. I'm going to start by putting him in place, and I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can hear me better. Place. Ooh. So the first thing I want to talk about is how dogs learn and some of the most important things that we need. So we need timing, consistency, and reinforcement. When we talk about balanced training, what we're talking about really is opera conditioning. So we have positive reinforcement, positive punishment, and negative punishment, hence the balance. So when we're teaching dogs new things, we really want to stay on the positive reinforcement side. For example, I put him in place, which is right there. He has a huge reward history with the place bed. So what I'm doing is giving him food, lots of food. I want to increase the likelihood of the behavior, pounding on place is going to happen, so I'll reinforce it over and over and over again until we have a huge reward history. We do this at the beginning when we're teaching, but there becomes a time where we have to enforce our commands. We need the dog to comply with our commands. Whether the dog just doesn't want to do it, doesn't care, doesn't have the energy, it doesn't matter. And at that point in time, we are on the other side of the spectrum, the punishment side, positive punishment or negative punishment, and these are where corrections come in. We have to correct our dogs when they don't want to do commands that we're asking them to do. So in this example, if he was to leave the bed, which he's not because he's an awesome dog, but if he were to leave the bed and he has at the beginning, we would correct him. We would enforce our commands with him. Pause. So when we're talking about balanced training, a few other things we want to talk about are consistency and timing. Dogs have a short-term memory of about 1.3 seconds. And then we have 3 seconds when we mark a behavior. The marker words that Buddy knows while we're on this: yes, that's his terminal marker. When we say yes, he's released and he's allowed to get his reward. Good is duration marker. We want him to basically continue the behavior that he's doing when we say good. So for example, duration on a command. I can teach you at the beginning to sit, and you're allowed to be freed. Sit, free, sit, free. Eventually, we need to increase the amount of time you're in the position. So with this, the way we communicate with the dog is good. On the other end of the spectrum, we have punishment markers. No, as buddies, and it basically means a correction is coming. The biggest reason I told you about these markers is we have to have consistency with dogs. Dogs don't speak human and humans don't speak dogs. Luckily, we are smart enough to teach dogs how to communicate with us. Unfortunately, they are not smart enough to teach us how to communicate with them. If I were to tell you to go into a store and get a piece of paper and buy something, come back, we speak a common language, we understand each other. Dogs don't understand that. So through consistency, timing, we can teach dogs how to communicate with us. Marker words are why these things are very, very important. So let's talk about the 3 things that Buddy needs to live a fulfilled life. He needs physical exercise, mental exercise, and simulation communication. So for mental exercise, it's fine right now. He's in a command. He has a job. He's doing something. Physical exercise, obviously we need to go outside, run, do things, do fun things, engage in things with the dog. The last one's communication. We just talked about the marker words. Yes, good, no. Those are ways that we communicate with them. We'll let them know, hey, you're doing a great job. Hey, you're doing good, but do that longer. And no, don't do that. So when we make sure Buddy has a good transition to his new home, we need to make sure that we are very consistent, very clear. We reinforce good behaviors and we correct bad behaviors, and we're consistent with these behaviors all the time. For example, if he jumps up on you, he gets excited, he loves to jump. No, followed by a correction. No, followed by a correction. We have to be consistent with this. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If not, we're not being clear with the dog and we're not communicating with him. It's not fair to him, it's not fair to us. We want to make sure he's happy and we're both understanding each other to the best of our abilities. Because again, remember, dogs don't speak human and humans don't speak dogs, but we are smart enough to teach dogs how to communicate with us as long as we follow these rules and balanced training. Okay, now that we talked about the things that Buddy needs to live a fulfilled life, consistency on the corrections, I need to show you how we correct dogs properly. But first, I gotta feed Buddy. He's been doing awesome in his place command, and I wanna reinforce that. So since I wanna reinforce that, I'm gonna give him some food right now because I wanna continue to increase the likelihood that this behavior happens. Let's pay our dog. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Now, on the balanced training spectrum, or the quadrants, food, if your dog's really motivated for food, awesome, we can use toys too. But for corrections, we're gonna use a training collar, typically, a prong collar. Now remember, when we're teaching dogs new things, we're on a slip collar. but we're gonna use a prong. Buddy already has his prong, you can see it on. He understands it, but I'm gonna use my awesome stuffed dog named Sed right here. Sed was an awesome person that I was in dog school with, I learned a lot from. So I named my stuffed dog Sed. I'm gonna demonstrate the proper way to put the training collar on the dog. Let me just move this table over. There you go. So we're gonna take the prong like this, have it apart. We're gonna put it around the dog's neck. In this case, it's Buddy's. We don't want it too tight, but we do want it tight. Clip it on there pretty good. We want this part here. That way we can correct the dog, correct Buddy. You understand this? Now, this is very important. We cannot leave this prong on all night. The prong has to come off. I recommend only putting the prong on the dog when you're going to work with them. It can get caught in your crate and all kind of bad stuff can happen. So anyways, this is how you put the prong on the dog. Below the ears, below the jawline, right here. It's disconnected. Once you get it there, take this, connect this. This is good. Here we go. You're gonna attach your leash here. This has got a swivel, so it's pretty good. Now that we talked about verbal markers, we talked about corrections, I'm gonna show you some of the commands that we taught Buddy. The first commands that we're gonna use, that I'm gonna show you right now, is gonna be heel. Let me make sure to get my treats first. Put my treat pouch on. And I'm gonna grab Buddy, and we're gonna do some heeling. Now Buddy always walks on the left side. It doesn't mean that you can't teach him to walk on the right side, but for the purpose of what we've done so far, he's gonna walk on the left side. So let me grab Buddy and show you heeling. Good boy. Remember, I like him being on place. I want to continue to increase the likelihood this behavior happens, so I'm going to reward place. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of stuff going on. I'm talking to the camera. I'm not right by him. My back's turned to him, so I'm going to reward him. Boy. Free. Free is his release command. Whenever Buddy is in a behavior, like he's about to heel, we have to release him or give him a new behavior. So he was in place for a long time. I just freed him. Now he's free to do what dogs do. He can just be a dog. But right now we're going to go back to the heeling. I'm going to show you heeling. So he's going to walk on my left side. His chest area right here is going to stay in line with my legs. Come on, buddy. Heel. That's the automatic sit. That's a bonus. Heel. Good bud. So it doesn't matter if I go left, and if I stop, heel, go right. He needs to stay hugged with me. I decide where we're going. He doesn't decide. Have you ever walked around your neighborhood or drove around your neighborhood in a four-wheeler, a car, a dirt bike, airplane, doesn't matter, and saw a dog pulling somebody? That's not a good life. We don't want that. Sorry, my helper was stopping me there for a second. Good, we have to. Okay, remember, I just had an accident. My dog didn't freak out. He's a good dog, so I'm gonna reward him. I stepped on his foot a little bit. Training dogs are real world things. There's things that are gonna happen in the real world. It's not always just perfect. So when something like that does happen, we don't wanna make a big deal about it. Just keep on going, keep on going. If we make a big deal about it, the dog's gonna make a big deal about it. So, because we wanna end things on a good note, I'm gonna walk back over there, and I'm gonna do an about turn and come back. But he's gonna stay right next to me. He's gonna heel all the way over here. And then I'm gonna put him on his place command when we're done. So you ready, buddy? Heel. That's a big distraction, so I'm gonna reward him because he loves place. Place always takes him. Heel. Now I can go fast, I can go slow, and I can stop, he's gonna stop. Heel. Heel. Good boy. Put him back on place for a second. Buddy, place. Good boy. Okay, remember we talked about our verbal markers, our yes, our good, our punishment markers, no. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna release him from this command because when we left off, he was on the place command. And I'm going to show you his sit, and I'm going to show you his down. Free. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Now, again, we want to increase the likelihood this behavior happens, so we reward. Good boy. I'm going to release him. Free. Now he can just be a dog. You do whatever you want to do. Within reason. Down. And then it's just down command. Good boy. Good boy. I'll show you again. Now I'm going to release him. Free. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Free. Down. Good boy. So you notice, sit, one word, dog does the command. Sit, he sits, down, he downs. I have to free him and release him. Now, if he didn't do that, it warrants a correction. Consistency is very important when Buddy goes home with you. Absolutely crucial. Make sure the rules stay the same. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They got to stay the same. And if they stay the same for you, they're the same for the dog, time goes on. Before you know it, 4 months has come and gone, and the dog's doing really, really well. Now I'm going to show you Buddy's recall command, also a come command. But what Buddy's going to do when we give him the HEEL command is he's going to come from wherever he's down, or he is, and he's going to come to my left side. He's going to do a little pivot. He'll come to me. So let's put him over here. I'll show you the auto sit too before we do this. Free. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Notice I'm not paying him every single time he does something. Intermittent rewarding schedule is very, very important for dog training and for Buddy. We can't pay him every single time, because if we do pay him every single time, the moment we don't pay him, he gets upset. So we have to use a variable or intermittent, it doesn't matter. But we're going to do it different times with the dog. So I'm about to give him his HEEL command, and he needs to come here, do a little pivot, and sit at my side. Buddy, heel. Good boy. Sit. Notice how I went from one command to the next one. I'll do it again from a different angle for you. Buddy, heel. See, he just slipped on his leash. Things happen in the real world. Things happen. They're going to happen. Don't freak out when they happen. We just keep on going. Now I'm going to walk over these doors over there. He's going to heel. I'm going to show you a couple auto sits. And then when I get to the door, Buddy has good manners. So Buddy's going to auto sit for me at the door. And he's going to let me do whatever it is. Whether I talk to the Amazon man, the post office dude, my neighbor that's mad about the water hose being left on. I don't know. Whatever happens in life. So I'm going to walk over here now. And he's going to auto sit at the door. Buddy, heel. Good job, buddy. You must stay on the dog school dog. Notice how Buddy auto sit at the door? He's got good manners. Good boy. I'm going to reward that because I like that. Free. Now, if I release it, he can just be a dog. It's a good buddy! It's a good buddy! I'm going to throw it back on place here for a second. Buddy, place. Good boy. Reinforce this with some more rewards. Good, cut it off. The last thing I want to talk about are corrections with Buddy. Remember, we have to be consistent. So we're balanced trainers here. We're training Buddy. So we want to reinforce the good things and correct the bad things. And with bad things being Buddy not doing a command that we ask him to. If we don't correct him when he does it, we're showing him, hey, do what you want, whatever you want. So I'm going to do a couple commands with Buddy, and he's going to mess up eventually, and I'll show you a correction. Buddy. Free. Oh boy. Heel. Heel. Buddy, the auto sit is a correctable offense. He understands that. So I'm asking him to sit when I stop. He knows I have to give him another command or release. Free. Sit. Free. Down. Free. Heel. No. Heel. That's a very small correction, but we're letting him know that he needs to be right by us. So again, a correction just looks kind of like this. That's it. We'll let him know he did something wrong, and the whole point of a correction is to enforce compliance with their commands, whatever it may be. Thank you.